Wild is an action-adventure game about the relationship between man and nature. We want the player to experience things, to learn how the wild world works. Your character really represents the experience that you have in the game. For example, you've got a lot of tattoos on the body. Every tattoo is an experience of your character. The world is huge, so you can explore and have the feeling of freedom.
It's an open world game with a very large world, and we can go anywhere we want, anywhen. We don't have any restriction on this side.
It's something that is there in my mind for a long time. I've been working on games where the forest and the wild world is very important. To develop the universe of Wild, I asked the team to go in the wild nature.
Every time I hire people, it is my first question. Do you have animals at home? Do you like animals?
There's this kind of constant inspiration just in nature.
So you've just seen our trailer at Paris Games Week, and I'm going to go through the gameplay demo and show you what's cool playing Wild.
Save her, shaman.
I really wanted the main character to carry the values of the game, like for example, he's not a warrior, so he's got a wood stick because he's more a sorcerer, he's a shaman. You can jump from a human character to any animal. I can call an eagle, for example, a wild eagle. What makes the game really cool is that when you call a bird like that, you can go into his spirit and control the bird. And you've got a new point of view of the same world. So once you control your eagle, you realize that the eagle is a hunter. And here we want to hunt a new animal, because in Wild you can catch any animal and summon the divinity of this animal. Giant bears, and you can use them as very powerful vehicles. Here, for example, we are arriving in a cannibal camp, which is very dangerous. And this is very interesting because you will see here combinations of gameplays with different animals. And then attack. My goal is to then take my snake and summon the snake divinity. The divinities represent the forces of nature. They can be unpredictable, they can be dangerous. Maybe the divinity will ask for a very dangerous challenge to prove that I have the knowledge of the snakes. So everything is never easy win. You have to prove that you understand the world of Wild.
Now the fun part.
This is gonna be sick!
BGAE 2 is an online action-adventure RPG that you can play alone or with your friends in co-op. And by the way, you can join in, join out anytime during the adventure so that you team up with your friends. Here, the demo today is going to be 2 players. So Johan, who just joined, is playing a hybrid monkey character that he completely customized, choose at the beginning of the game. Yes. Right? You choose your character at the beginning of the game, like any RPG, and you customize it with gear, etc. Audrey is playing this female character that she also customized, and she customized it so that she looks like Shani in
she can
the
look like
trailers.
Shani, exactly. Yeah. To give a bit of context about where the characters are at this point, we are on the planet Soma, which is one of the main planets in the game, and more specifically, we are in Ganesha City, the city that we saw in our first trailer. And our 2 characters here have heard about, some hybrids, trafficking, some weird experiments taking place in this old abandoned temple. So at this moment, they are exploring this temple to discover some mysteries, and they actually don't know what they are going to find in this temple.
We can easily imagine that they gathered information, investigation through their previous adventures, and they led to that place, but they don't exactly know what's going on.
To happen, exactly.
Before we continue, one thing that we want to point out is that what we want the players to live in BGAE 2 is the space pirate fantasy, right? We want you to live the life of a space pirate, and to make sure that we deliver this, we've defined what for us defines a space pirate. So
we can even say a space pirate captain, right?
Captain, you're right, exactly. Yeah. So for us, a space pirate captain has a gun, so he can shoot. He has, he or she has a sword to fight, to close combat fighting, and a jetpack. So these are the basic abilities that you're going to be using with your characters. So really basic. On top of these, you can equip your Space Pirate Captain with what we call augments. Augments are kind of special abilities, special powers that you will collect as you play along the game, and you can equip those augments either on your gun, your sword, or even on your character. And you can combine them, to create kind of a specific deck. And these augments will really define the play style of your character. And you can shoot at your teammates.
You can use those augments to annoy your teammates.
So there's friendly fire with
Exactly, friendly fire with that. So yeah, really the augments, like I was saying, will create your own play style and define how you progress in this adventure.
So here we're following Johan in this little corridor of this temple, and Johan stumbles upon a room with some creepy stuff. And actually, when we come closer, you can see that these are hybrid monkeys parts, like cut down to pieces. And what we like to say is that in this world of oppression, where citizens of the world are under a very strict control, then the pirates, they are rebelling against that established order, and they go about what they want to do, and they want freedom. Right? And what we like to say that if the player didn't escape his destiny as a hybrid slave, then maybe he would have ended up in these boxes and cut down into pieces. So so that's to give a bit of context about the world we're living. So we're back on Audrey, who's playing a female character.
Yeah, and she's arriving in this kind of creepy room where we have those scientists making some weird experiments, and she's going to use another specific equipment of the space pirates in our game. It's of course the spyglass. Spyglass allows you to scan your environment, scan also enemies, characters, and here Audrey is scanning those creepy scientists, and she sees that they are also equipped with specific augments. It's very important to say that augments can also be equipped on enemies and can totally change the way they will fight against you.
One thing that's very key for us, and we need to repeat it again, it's enemies have the same abilities as the player.
Exactly. So depending on the augments that the enemies are equipped with, they will behave totally in different ways, and you have to adapt the way you fight them according to what they're equipped with. So you can see in the fight that the augments take a very, very important role. For instance, you have those domes that will slow down the enemies, so they are very important if you want to have time to actually progress next to your enemies and hit them. So, like I was saying, it would be very important to take down the scientists first, because they have those healing bullets.
Oh, nice freeze.
Nice freeze augments.
3% freeze.
Exactly. So we want those combats to be, very, very dynamic, and again, the augments, the variety of augments, the number of augments that we'll have in the game will really give a lot of depth and diversity in those fights.
Yeah, in here we have just only a few samples.
Yeah.
One of the main messages we want to have with this is that the melee combat is back from
the first game. Yeah,
that's very important. So we will have some melee combat. It's going to be on top of this melee combat. We'll have the augments that will give deep feeling to the fight.
Yeah. So they did a great job.
Good job, guys.
Take down all those enemies, and now we can see that one of the hybrids that they were doing experiments on is still alive. So Johan is using the spyglass to scan this enemy, and with the spyglass we see that this hybrid on the table is equipped is actually a mechanic. He has the skill of a mechanic, and this will be also a very, very important element of the game. You will be able to recruit crew members, because you're a space pirate captain, so you will have of course a ship, even several ships, and you will have a crew, and it will be important to gather the right crew members for your progressions. We're not saying too many things about this right now, but keep in mind that this is very important for the progression of the players in this game.
Yeah, I said earlier that as a pirate captain you have a sword and a jetpack, then you have a ship and a crew as well. That's very important for us.
And we will see the ship actually in a few seconds.
Well, now we're going to go out of this small temple, and so just for the purpose of the demo we placed conveniently these vehicles here, but the main thing is that whatever you see in the game, whatever vehicle you see, you can drive it, right? So now we're going to go out of this building, as I said, into the city. And this city is Ganesha City. So this is the city that you saw in the trailers, and now in game. A very, very good job from the team to have built this city in game. Here, as I said earlier, you don't need to stick to your partner when you play the game, whether you're in a small place or in the city. So Johan went to do other business while we're following Audrey, who's gonna give us a tour of the city. So here down these walls, you've got some shanty towns with hybrids are living.
It's actually the lower part of the city is where the hybrids are living. Yeah.
Here you see on the left, on the left here.
Actually, we've been seeing a lot of graphical elements that were also coming from our partnership with It Record, created by our community. And this one is a huge, of course, a huge fresco, a huge murals that has been made by a member of the community, and really it shows that our cities in the game are kind of a place for people to express themselves and put their own artworks.
Careful, Audrey.
So you can expect a lot of places like that in the cities where huge artworks will be played and artworks created by our community, which is really something unique.
One thing we want to convey as cities go, the mix between new technology, holograms, and old style, such as this giant statue. Everywhere you see, whatever you see in the city, you can land on it. There's no hidden wall or whatever. the whole seamless aspect of the city, and we're going to see, we're going to drive through it a bit more. We have some banks over here.
There, yeah.
You need some money, you can go and make some heist, for
Exactly.
example, or just go and withdraw some money.
Yeah.
Once you have the money, you can go and buy some new stuff, gear, augments, weapons in these shops. So Audrey is going to take another flying motorbike, and we're going to continue the tour of the city. So Audrey is going to drive through Main Street, Ganesha City. So in Ganesha City we've got radio, that's called Radio Cheetah, which is a pirate radio.
Actually, we have this radio in most of the world because it's the radio that the space pirates are listening to.
And what you're hearing right now has been created by the community.
Exactly. They've been creating jingles, stingers for this space pirate radio called Radio Cheetah, and they've also been created, of course, they've been creating some specific songs, rock and roll songs, and songs that really embody this, rebellious aspect that we want to have among the pirates in the game.
Now we've reached this high bridge in Ganesha City. It's overlooking the giant Ganesha statue there. We're going to go up. Johan is here still. And we're going to take a moment now to walk you through the customization aspect of the ships.
I think it's important to say that basically you can customize all aspects of your experience as a space pirate captain. And one of those aspects is, of course, the ships that will be very, very important for your experience. So here Audrey is in the customization menu for the ship, and she's changing modules that will actually change, of course, the visual aspect of the game, of the ship, sorry, but also the way you pilot your ship, the statistics of your ship. So you can change the different modules, the wings, the cabin, the engine. Then of course the equipment, the weapons that you put on your ship. And then you have what we call the cosmetic, customization. So you can change the colors, the patterns on your ship, and of course you can also place a pirate logo on your ship.
Emblems.
An emblem, yeah, exactly. So that's what she's doing now. So
yeah, we can see
in
Johan
the distance, Johan is actually having some trouble because he's been flying in the city and he got a bit too close from the famous Ganesha city. Most of the tourists, they actually come to witness to see this beautiful statue. And now the police arrived to actually prevent Johan to go too close from this statue.
Because we've got city rules,
there are
right?
rules, exactly.
And you cannot do anything you want. And if you break these rules, then the police is coming after you.
Exactly. So Johan is in a bit of trouble, and Audrey has arrived to help him take down all these police ships. And if you take a look around, you will also see that there is a big frigate, a bigger ship owned by the police, and this one is actually too big to be destroyed by the player because they are not equipped with the right equipment on their ships. So they have to take down those small ships and try to escape. What's really important also is that we've been talking about the augments. The ships will also be equipped with augments. Yeah. For instance, you will be able to have some healing missiles to heal your partners in co-op. Yeah. Exactly. So this will also give a lot of depth with those spaceship battles. And here we're seeing an example of a dogfight, of course, but you also have to imagine that you will have much more bigger, battles involving motherships. Yeah. We will see a mothership later, and you have to imagine that you will be able to fight also with those motherships.
Can you guys go close to the big statue so that we can see just the size of it?
Yeah, it's huge.
Wow. Thank you
see
very
the detail
much.
On the statue.
Nice.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So now that this fight against the police is come to an end, they are not going to attack the big frigate because they don't have the skill set yet.
Destroy it yet. Yeah.
So what we're going to do is earlier in the gameplay, Audrey parked her mothership, which is a ship much bigger than this one, a few thousand kilometers away from where we are. So we're going to go there, and don't worry, it's going to take no time because we are at very, very big speeds. Whoops, nice. So we're going to fly over Ganesha City. So that's the streets where we were just in before, and they are still here bustling with life as we depart. Here we're going to go up the atmosphere in the direction of Audrey's ship, and here that's the moment that's very important for me, and I like to do it. I want to remind everybody watching that a few minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, we were inside a small temple fighting some weird scientists and in close quarter combat. Then we hopped on a motorbike, flew through the city, through the traffic, had a fight with the police of the city over the Ganesha statue, and now we are a few thousand kilometers away, like this, in no time. And that seamless transition between different scales is what makes BGAE so special. On top of these scales, we've got systems that are crossing each other, right? We've got the police, we've got the ship system, we've got everything that's coming together in the same shard of gameplay. That's really what we want to point out, and that's what we think BGAE 2 is going to be very special to play.
And things are still running in real time. It's important to say that, like you were saying, the city is still active.
Exactly.
And, everything is still running.
And the planet below is there. We can go anywhere on the planet. We can even go to other planets. So here, Audrey is going to get out of the spaceship. On the character, you see a small shield effect that's very work in progress. It's going to be better looking, sir, but for the consistency of the world, we wanted to make sure that you can get out of your spaceship without dying from the lack of air. So there's some kind of nano suit or something like this to allow you to be outside of your ship even if there's no air to breathe.
So this is a monkey, of course, and those geoglyphs will be actually some of them actually will be some hints for some treasures, hidden on the planet. So you will be seeing those geoglyphs as you fly in space, on the planet, and you will have to go closer to the ground to actually find where a treasure could be hidden near those mysterious geoglyphs.
These kind of elements are really critical for us because, as I said earlier, BGAE 2 is all about the different scales, and we need players, gamers to be attracted by elements at different scales. So here you're flying through the universe with your spaceship. At the scale of the city, at the scale of the planet, you will be attracted by this giant stuff, and you will be attracted to go and to see what's at the tip of the tail, and maybe you'll find a dungeon, or maybe you'll find a village or whatever. We want to show here is our universe map.
Universe map,
right?
exactly.
Universe map. So the specificity is that this is not a 2D image. This is the 3D rendering of the planet. We see that Ganesha City is actually at the tip of a continent that is looking like India. If we go on the other side of the planet, yes, thank you, Audrey. We see that this part of the planet is much less, it's much more hostile. And if you want to give some
it's actually,
some
it comes from the very, very specific ecosystem that we have on Soma. Soma is actually a moon rotating around a gas giant, and one side of the planet, the side where Ganesha City is always turned toward this gas giant, so protected by this huge planet, and this side here is always turned toward space. So it's frequently bombarded with huge meteorite showers, breaking the ground of the planet and creating these huge craters, basically.
So if you want to zoom back, Audrey, again, here we have the planet scale, so we can still see we are in the universe map. We can zoom back again. So this is the Deus subsystem scale. You can see Deus, the big gas giant, Soma, the planet where we were, and Chandra, who is the another location for us. And we can zoom back again, and that's System 3, and the different locations that we have in System 3.
And of course, at the center of System 3, there is a sun, an equivalent of the sun, and this is what creates our day and night cycle in the game.
You're right.
We haven't specifically created this day and night cycle. It's just the fact that planets are rotating in real time around the sun that creates our day and night cycle in the game.
Now, Johan is still around, I think. Yes, he is. We can see him. And as I said in the first place in the demo, you don't need to stick together at the very small. You play co-op, right? You don't need to stick together in a dungeon. You don't need to stick in a city, but you don't even need to stick together in the universe. So you're still in the same game universe, but you can go away from your partners and join back again when you need to. So here, Johan started to leave the atmosphere of Soma, and as you saw, as soon as Johan left the atmosphere, the fire and flame effect on the
air friction.
The air friction is not there anymore. So now the speeds that Johan can reach are really limitless, actually.
Exactly.
Now it is time to get to another new game announcement. A few months ago, a Japanese game creator reached out to me and said, hey, I want to announce my next game at the Game Awards, and I'm so honored to have this opportunity to present this global announcement to all of you. Please enjoy.
So, what's the status?
Just confirmed our source. He's been here. Even better, he's a regular.
Meaning,
Stalker identified. Back up at the 26. I repeat, back up is needed.
We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope, without ever finding the story. This is not the story you want it to be. This story will eat you alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.